Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and most welcome guests. Now, some of you know I like to travel. With the travelling comes some necessary evils. I hate flying. I could tell you stories of aborted landings, severe turbulence, even people trying to get out at 25,000 feet. I'm going to save that for another day. I've got another fear. One that gives me sweaty palms, head rushes. One that gives me jelly legs like I've had 10 Jack Daniels and Cokes on a good night out. Now this began back in somewhere in 1991, Belgium, the Ypres region to be more precise. It was a school trip to the World War I battlefields. Now as remarkable as they were, it was something that happened in a hotel lift that's left me scarred for the following 22 years. Now there were three of us standing in a small 8x8 metal box, you know the ones? Wood panelling, there's a mirror there. We were going down. My friend said, what would happen if you jumped in a lift? Me and my other friend, before we'd had a thought to even contemplate it, he'd gone like this. And with a sudden thud, the lift jerked to a stop. It was then that the red light came on above the door. It was then that I began to panic. How long are we going to be in here? Does anyone know we're here? Is this thing secure? I proceeded to punch the alarm button, realising my voice was going in a very panicky way, thinking about all those scenarios. But one of those scenarios wasn't of a claustrophobic nature for some reason. In truth, we're probably only in there for about 5-10 minutes of my young life. I remember hearing some angry Flemish voices coming towards us, and the doors were prized open to reveal some daylight coming through. It wasn't just daylight. We were stuck halfway between floors, and there was the floor. We managed to get out, but the thoughts I had, thinking, if that lift had moved, and I still think about that to this day, whilst I was in that precarious position. So it was there that it all began. And from then on, I've been determined to avoid lifts at all costs. But sometimes when abroad, in exotic places, where English isn't the mother tongue, it's just not an option. Sometimes there is no alternative. Now the thing with being a professional tourist is if you want to see the exceptional views, you've got to go up high. Now I can tell you that Niagara Falls is great, standing at the level where it flows over the side. Right inside it, it's immense. The noise, the mist. But to see it from up above, you see it from its sheer beauty. Now up above is 160 metres in the Skylon Tower. The only way to get up there is a lift on the outside. It's all glass. Not something I was fond of when I was like grip the handle going up. But I made it up there. As I say, the views are spectacular. The Empire State Building in New York offers great views of Lower Manhattan. There's Brooklyn Bridge there. There's the Statue of Liberty in the distance. May not have the nicest of exteriors, but inside it's all Art Deco. It's lovely. You go up some escalators, it weaves you through some of these retractable clip barriers, you go through some airport style security, and I'm sure this is all to distract you from the fact that you've got a lift going 84 floors up to the observatory deck. That lift has a brass plaque inside it that proudly says, "This lift can accommodate 16 people and £4,000. I scan round, quick head count. I think we're all right. You'll probably also recognise the Petronas Towers, Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. It's the scene of the film Entrapment, Catherine Zeta-Jones and Sean Connery. It's where they fall and swing from a middle bridge. That's called the Sky Deck. That's 42 floors up. It's from there that you can look down and the cars become like matchboxes. And you can see in the distance where the horizon meets the mountains. Yet those 42 floors takes 40 seconds in a lift. And it's there where I get up and I feel all dizzy, my ears are popping. I've also seen views across Melbourne, from Auckland as well, from various towers, all courtesy of lifts. Fortunately though, there are some places where I don't have to take the lift. Some of you may know Covent Garden Underground Station. It's got an emergency set of stairs that proudly states this has got 193 steps in the equivalent of a 15-storey building. I know what I'll take. And I do, often. And I'll often beat the lift going up. Halcyon times. But it takes a lot to get me inside those four walls. Yet statistics say it's one of the safest ways to travel. In a nutshell, it's two different types. There's a cable-borne lift and a hydraulic lift. I get the nuts and bolts of it all, but I don't want to know much more about it. But apparently, in 1998, it was estimated that approximately 1 in 12 million of lift or elevator rides results in an anomaly. The vast majority of these were minor things, such as the doors failing to open. Now, of the 20 to 30 lift-related deaths worldwide in a year, many are down to technicians leaning too far in and getting caught up in the mechanics of the lift. Safety in lifts now, though, means that they're all supposedly fitted with anti-slip mechanisms to prevent a free fall, which makes me feel a little bit better. Yet whenever I'm faced with those two grey doors, it always takes me back to that school trip in Belgium.